Part 2, we're going to talk about pH. And you might be saying pH what? Well, pH stands for the potential of hydrogen and is the measure of acidity or alkalinity in a solution. And this measurement is graded on a scale from 0 to 14. 0 being very, very acidic. Like think about if you were to pour acid onto your skin, it would be burning it. 14 is the highest alkaline. And the number 7 is halfway in between, so that's what we consider neutral. So why is this important to our health? Well, the pH of your body is very important. When a body is more acidic, the cells have less oxygen, and we all know how important oxygen is, right? So when the body's more alkaline, then the cells have more oxygen. Who wants more oxygenated cells? I know I do. All right. Now here's the thing. The pH of our blood will do everything possible for our body to stay between 7.35 to 7.45. Perfect is actually 7.365, which is outside of this range is death. All right. So what your body will do is it will pull from other areas to keep your blood pH balanced. But then that causes other problems. So what I'd like to share right now are some signs that your body may be too acidic, that it's taking this acid from your body, and this acid in your body is going to cause problems, okay? And then your body's going to pull from different areas to keep your pH at a balanced area, like between 7.35 and 7.45. So signs your body may be too acidic, all right? You feel fatigued even when you've had enough sleep. You feel depressed or have a hard time enjoying things that you used to. Anybody ever feel that way? You find yourself especially irritable for no discernible reason. Eek. You feel like you cannot focus or you have brain fog often. You frequently develop infections, colds, and flu. And so your skin is often dry even in the warmer months. So even though we think we should be sweating, we find that we're really dry. This can be a sign of acidity. You have acne or other skin problems. All right, you have hormonal imbalance issues, you frequently develop yeast infections, you feel like your digestion is sluggish or frequently experience constipation or diarrhea. You find yourself becoming short of breath often. Anybody ever feel that way? You frequently experience joint pain. Ugh. How about you experience headaches? All right. Or you experience chronic allergies or sinus pain. You may suffer from chronic pain that is not due to an injury or medical condition. And your neck often feels stiff or sore. For me, I can usually tell when I'm more acidic because my upper traps, this area here, get really sore. All right. You may find that you have sensitive gums and teeth. That's another sign. So how do you know if you are acidic or alkaline? Well, those symptoms that I just went over will really tell you a lot, but we can actually test our saliva or our urine. I'm going to do saliva for you right now because you don't want to see my urine, right? But these are little pH level strips, and I don't know if you can see this very well, but I bought this just at like Whole Foods, or you could get it at a drugstore. All right, and what this does is it allows you to check your pH. So you can just take off a little strip of it, okay? Hopefully this won't be too gross to watch, but I usually just spit in a spoon. And you really want to do this first thing in the morning, but you just lay the strip in your saliva, okay? And it's going to turn a color. Now, the more orange it is, if you can kind of see that, the more acidic you are, and the closer it is to the 7 to 7.5, that's the green, the more alkaline you are. So I'm going to show you mine. Mine is green, and it's probably between 6.5 and 7. I've been working on it since I got off of a cruise ship, but I want it between 7 and 7.5. Now, in the morning, first thing, it might have been a little bit greener because I have had some food, breakfast and lunch, and that can affect it. So you really want to be about 6 hours out from having anything to eat, but it still gives me a good sign of what my body is doing. And you can do this with your urine too. Again, you want it between 7 and 7.5. What we want to do is really just think about what contributes to our pH levels in the first place. Does anybody want to guess what may affect our pH levels? How about food? right? And what we put into our body will affect our pH levels. So the reason it is so important to our health to have fruits and vegetables, especially citrus fruits, not necessarily more of the sweet fruits, but the citrus fruits are very alkalizing. I know they seem acidic, but what they do to our body is alkalize it. So it helps to maintain this alkaline body, and veggies also play a huge part in this, so both of those are very important. And I'm actually going to share in the comments below when we're done with this video a sheet, okay, a graphic that has foods that are alkaline all the way to 10.0, so not all the way up to 14, but about 10.0. Things like raw spinach, right, raw broccoli, artichokes, Brussels sprouts, raw celery, the things that we know are really good for us, they're very alkalizing, okay? And then the things that are very acidic, that are on the lower end, those are things like chocolate, processed foods, even microwaving your food will make it more acidic. Pasta, pickles, guess what? Even things like stress and worry, which is not even a food, will cause you to be more acidic, okay? Colas are like off the chart. They're way down past. Did you know that cancer cannot exist in an alkaline environment? Did you know that meds cause more acidity, which is why you usually see so many side effects? Okay. How about the fact that so many people, and I'm sorry if I'm stepping on toes, but start the morning off with coffee, which is very acidic. They might add sugar, which is very acidic, and some cream, which is very acidic. And so you're starting your day in this acidic state, all right? Now, some people I don't drink coffee, but they might do sodas. And what's in sodas is phosphoric acid, which is a 2.1 in the acidity. I mean, we're talking like burn your skin, right? And that's why you can take a Coke and clean out your toilet so well. It will clean anything because of that phosphoric acid. You're in an acidic state, so think about inflammation again. When you're inflamed, it affects your liver. And your liver is your filtering system. It's what kind of helps keep everything nice in your body the way it needs to be. But because your liver is working in survival mode, it's doing everything it can to keep you at this pH level in your blood to keep you alive and doing all those things. It says, hey, lymphatic system, I can't keep up with my job right now, so I'm going to put you to work. I'm going to have you work harder. It's our sewage system. And what I need you to do is just keep this person alive. All right? So what your lymphatic system has to do is those lymph nodes, typically around our neck area, which is why a lot of times this is where we'll feel the swelling and the inflammation, is because that's where we have the most lymph nodes, under our armpits, our groin area, behind our knees, our ankles. Who has swelling ankles? That's a good sign that you're acidic. What we want to do here is those lymph nodes, they hold toxins. And because the liver can't help right now, it's like I'm in survival mode, those lymph nodes go, okay, well, I can't keep these toxins because I need to keep working because I got to help the liver. I'm going to send it to the fat cells. Yeah. So our fat cells start growing, getting bigger because of all the toxins that go in there to protect you and save your life. Now, I love that my body wants to save my life, that it wants to put me in protection, but I don't want to live in survival mode. I want to be like thriving. Who wants to thrive, right? So what we need to do is make sure that we are not in an acidic state. Now here's the thing. When we're in that acidic state, remember our blood pH is going to do everything it can to keep us in that balanced state. So what it does is then it goes to the bones. And it says, hey bones, I need some of that magnesium. Need some of that calcium. We're going to pull that out of the bones because we got to stay alive. All right. And then we see bone issues and we see joint pain because our calcium affects our cartilage. And you have less of it, then your cartilage gets all nasty. And then you have shoulder pain and you have knee pain and you have hip pain. Anybody? All right. And then after it goes there, it's like, okay, I'm sucking that out, but I still need more. I need to get this into an alkaline state. It starts pulling iodine from like the thyroid. And then you start seeing these thyroid issues. So what can you do? All right. I've told you all these problems. By now you're like, I don't want to be acidic, right? I want to have as green as I can on my little paper here. So what can we do? Well, I'm going to give you that list of foods because I believe that our nutrition and our food is always a great place to start. We want to cleanse and we want to repair, okay? Food is going to help, and supplements. And I'm just going to be honest, you can do the best you can with all the food, and if you are perfect, you probably can get it up to the state that you want it, between 7 and 7.5 if you're looking at your saliva. But if you're like me and I just have a hard time with keeping my nutrition perfect and getting everything in the alkaline categories and not having any of the acidic stuff, then supplements may be a good thing for you too. So I'm going to share my 3 favorite ones to help stay in a more alkaline state. Number 1 is my Ningxia Red, and actually it's frozen because I'm going to have, when we're done, this is a popsicle. It's one of my favorite ways because I've been in this RV and it's a little warm because I don't have the air turned on right now, and I didn't know if I wanted to open up the windows because there's traffic by, and so this is how I keep myself cool and also help with keeping my body more alkaline, because it has citrus fruits in it and it has some wonderful fruits that help support the body in a positive way. And so that is my number 1. My number 2 are called multigreens. If you do not know about multigreens, they are awesome. But 2 things that are in those multigreens that make them so good to help us be alkaline, more alkaline than acidic, is kelp and spirulina. Okay, what kelp does is it kind of like sucks those toxins so that it can break them down and we can get rid of them in a good way. All right, now if they already get to our fat cells, then they're kind of in there right now until we take care of some other things. But while we're going through that, while our liver and our lymphatic system is doing what it wants, so it's why 3 twice a day is kind of the recommended schedule. I used to only do 3 because 6 I thought was too much, but after I heard why I want all this kelp and spirulina, what you'll also find is that when it breaks down those toxins, it also helps increase hydrogen, oxygen, and glycogen, which are all great for energy. And I've known for a long time that the multigreens give me more energy than anything else. So Super B's really help, the Ningxia Red, all those products. But for me, I can tell the biggest difference when I have my multigreens, because I tend to go on the acid side, more acidic than alkaline. So it all makes sense now. All right. And then the third, which is something, again, that I've been doing, but I typically have only done 1. But if you read the back of the box, it says 3 times a day around the time that you're going to have your food, because the whole reason that alkaline was even put together was to help balance our pH, right? And everybody does this a little bit differently. I like to add it to just a little bit of cold water. It bubbles up. To me, it reminds me of Sprite bubbles, and I miss that about drinking soft drinks. All my favorite part of that was the bubbles, and so I do that before I have a meal. And I've in the past done 1 a day, 1 every couple days. Now I'm doing 3 a day because remember, I'm working on becoming more alkaline. So again, there is so much information about this that I could give you, but I'm trying to keep this as short as possible. I could probably do a whole class or a whole course on all this information to really help support our bodies, because if you're like me, I want to have the energy, I want to not have the inflammation, I know I don't want cancer, right? And so starting with something fun like these little strips, remember you can get them at the drugstore, and check in the morning when you first get up, both your saliva or your urine. You can do it either way. I like to do both in the beginning just to kind of have a comparison. And then from there, look at the foods. I'm going to put that in the comments. And these 3 products right here are 3 great things. And I'll go ahead and put those in there, or maybe I'll put them at the top. I'll put them somewhere for you. All right. So I hope all this information is great. Y'all have a wonderful day. I am going to enjoy my Ningxia Red popsicle, and I will see you all next Wednesday at 4 o'clock Central